Okay, so we're focused on drinking water and cooking water locations. The question is, can a student walk up and drink that water, or can we use that water for food preparation? So when we walk around a building, we don't look at we look at fixtures individually and say, can we put a water bottle underneath that fixture? Could someone fill up a cup of water? So those are the kinds of fixtures that we look at that we're concerned about. So the evening or the afternoon before, we're going to come in and we're going to flush this, and we're going to utilize cold water. And cold water is important because it's going to do if there's lead in the water system, it's going to grab that lead more readily and collect it. So we're going to allow the water to flush for about 5 minutes and make sure that we've eliminated any of the stagnant water that maybe has been in the system if a fixture hasn't been used for a while. Each evening then, when we're done with our fixture, we're immediately going to place a bag over the fixture, alerting staff, students, and anyone else that might be in the building to the use of this fixture for testing purposes. We're going to let this sit overnight because we want the lead, if it's present in the fixture or any of the plumbing components, to collect in that water so we can get the first sample of the day to represent the first drinking water that somebody might consume. We're trying to ask the question, is there lead? And we use the term worst case in our industry to say, what can I do that if it's really a concern is really going to show me clearly that it's there? So by using cold water, by letting it sit overnight, we get to the point where we are introducing the highest likelihood that it's present. So if I get a result back where there's no lead, I have faith and confidence that in fact is true. So in the morning, bright and early, 6 o'clock, as our samplers come back into a building, they're going to confirm that the bag is on, that we have no water that's been collected in the bag. We're going to go ahead and remove this bag and reuse it. And then we're going to collect about 250 milliliters of water, which is about a cup and a half. And we want to collect the first cold water that comes out of this fixture. So I'm immediately going to make sure I'm on the cold side, and I'm going to collect it straight away. Every sample has its own specific number that tells us where the sample came from and the type of fixture we're going to use. These samples then get packaged and delivered right away to the lab. The laboratory that we use is right here in Pasco. It's a State of Washington Department of Ecology accredited lab. Somebody that does this on a routine basis, a lab that we've utilized on a whole bunch of this exact sampling before.
Drinking water is not the primary source, but it is a potential source of lead contamination into our children. So we do definitely get concerns about it. We do know that in our municipal waters that we actually have a very low, safe content of lead in them. So when we're talking sampling in schools and homes and things like that, we're looking at lead that may be leaching out of fixtures, piping networks that may be then exposing people, because we know the source of water is pretty good. And it's good to know that our school districts are looking out for our children and taking proactive steps to make sure that they're safe.